So let's switch gears now. We did say that this is a multi-dimensional conversation. So there's an economic angle of it. There's a political economy angle of it. There's also the developmental political economy angle. And we have joining us for this next leg of the conversation, which is also related, Mr. Oyalowo. He's a developmental economist, joins us live from our Abuja studio. Good morning, Mr. Oyalowo. Welcome to the Morning Brief. And we're just going to get started. Quite a number of things happening. If the richest black man on earth is saying, well, the interest rate is too high to create jobs, in some sense is asking for some sort of palliative to reduce the tension. You then wonder what the average Nigerian is going through. But we've seen the announcement of the immediate rollout of that reconstruction and support program by President Bola Tinubu. Two items I want us to focus on, Mr. Oyalowo. One, the food part, because food is important, 155 billion naira, and the money part, the grant part, that's 50,000 naira for 100,000 families for 3 months. That's on the one hand. The question for a lot of Nigerians is, one, we've seen this before. So, Mr. Oyalowo, how must your government do this that it works for all Nigerians, and we don't make the same mistakes again?
Yeah, good morning, Kayode. My government, I think you should rephrase that question now. It is the Tinubu government, not my government. I am not a part of them. I don't know. However, now answering your question, I believe some of the speakers that you have brought in have touched on some of these issues in terms of transparency and accountability. Because when it was rolled out, one of the major problems that I also noticed, one, is aside from somebody writing out the explainer in terms of the State House press release, from the side of the government, nobody has taken time to educate Nigerians on how they want to do it. So this attitude of nobody speaking to Nigerians is a major challenge. And this challenge is because I think the people around the president and within the presidency do not think they need to help the president to achieve his goal enough. Because these are great intentioned programs and policies, but nobody's explaining to Nigerians. Now, you said now, how does my government hope to, how do I explain something that I'm not a part of? So these are the issues. So it will be very difficult for me to tell Nigerians how the government intends to achieve it when those who are in government are refusing to speak to Nigerians on how they intend to achieve it. We did what we needed to do during the campaign to help speak on what we want to do, but now they are in power. It is their job to explain to Nigerians and educate Nigerians on how they want to do it. I have gone through the document, an exciting document, something to look forward to. But like everybody has spoken earlier, because I've been here listening, nobody is talking to anybody, so we don't know how they intend to achieve it. And I will not sit here and pretend like I know how they want to achieve it, because I honestly have no idea what they want to do. So it is their responsibility to explain to Nigerians what they intend to do and how they want to achieve it.
Ms. Oyalowo, so I know you're not in government, but you sold this government to the Nigerian population. And so at the end of the day, somehow it will rub off on you. So if you were to advise on how to communicate, what exactly would you be telling them on how to effectively go about this? Because you wear different caps, a politician and an economist. So you have the competence to speak to the issue.
Well, I know where you want me to go, but I told Kayode yesterday, this is why I find it difficult coming earlier. I honestly don't want to sit here and begin to pretend like I know what is going on as an insider. I don't know, but let me try and see it from this angle of being a member of the party. I think, first and foremost, the people closest to the presidency and to the president needs to speak to Nigerians more. Because yes, there are challenges and there are solutions that they are proffering. But when the people who will benefit from the solutions are not being informed, how do they even know what to do? So for instance, before I came in today, when Kayode told me I was coming in yesterday, I tried to do a little bit of finding out. I remember about 2-3 weeks ago, a basket of tomato was as high as 120 or thereabout. It has come down now, significantly down to about between 40 to 50,000, depending on where you are buying. And that is for Lagos market. I believe here in the north, it should be even lower. Now, the challenge is, this has happened, nobody is aware. So what the government wants to do now, in my own estimation, is a palliative. It is more like trying to balance the problems, as it were, to quickly look for a little bit of a settling down period for Nigerians, because you want to give food, you want to give money to some household. Like the guy in Edo, the Zekeri guy, he made fantastic point. How did you even capture the people that you want to feed or you want to give money to? I don't know. Because these are the things that should be made public to Nigerians. How did we capture the people? So, then secondly, we cannot continue to give money to households for months, for weeks, and then expect that the problem will just go away. There must be more developmental projects. There must be more long-term solution to be fixed. Because yes, there are problems. There is hunger in the land, so we need to quickly sort it. Fine and good. But after that, how do we go forward to ensure that we don't come back to this kind of point again? Now, everybody is talking about the interest rate that the richest man in Africa, Dangote, finally spoke about. Yes, what the CBN was trying to do, you will say it's a textbook economy. When there is so much inflation, you naturally have to raise interest rate to reduce, to mop up cash in the circulation, I mean, all those things. But clearly, Nigeria defies logic. And there's no way we should be having interest rates. It's not up to 30% actually. It's about 20, 23, 20, whatever. But
26.
I understand the 30% to make it to carry some weight. But the interest rate is still too high. We need to do more of production. So if you have shared food, if you have given palliative, you have given money, beautiful and excellent. But after doing that, there must be a going forward period. After we have done that, what do we do to ensure that we don't come here? This high interest rate, like everybody has said, truly, it will bring in FDIs, the hot money, portfolio investors, who will not naturally or necessarily help to boost your economy. We have to go beyond FDI sorting. We need to come to the point where we produce. For as long as our balance of trade favors importation beyond what we export, we will always have challenges. So I think these are the issues that the government needs to face, and they need to explain to Nigerians clearly in layman's language. But for as long as everybody is hiding their head, they don't want to talk, but they want to benefit being in government, then we're going to have this problem. People that have been invited or appointed to come and work need to face their job of speaking to Nigerians, explaining to Nigerians, making Nigerians understand this is where we are, this is where we are going, and this is how we intend to get to where we are going. You don't just get appointed and hide somewhere and nobody is seeing you, and you expect Nigerians to just sit down there and expect that heaven will come down to them. It is not fair of the president, because the president have genuine, when I read the document, these are fantastic documents. This shows that the president has genuine intention to fix the system. But the people that he has brought in to help him, I don't know how interested they are in helping him and how much they really want to work with the president to achieve his aims and objectives.
All right, Mr. Oyalowo, we wonder who should be talking, and I would like you to speak to that, who should be addressing those concerns from the administration. But in addition to that, I'd like you to also speak to this. Part of the component of this reconstruction and household support program is the distribution of 10 billion naira for the purchase of CNG buses. Now, recall that the president in July 2023 had announced the approval of 100 billion naira for the investment in the purchase of CNG buses over a period of a few months up until March 2024. Now, we haven't seen that, and this yet is incorporated in the component. So as the administration abandoned...
The volume was poor. Now, can you go back?
Yes, so I was saying that perhaps you would want to let us know who should be addressing these concerns, from the administration. But in addition to that, a component in this reconstruction and household support program is the distribution of 10 billion naira to states for the purchase of CNG buses. But last year, the president had announced the investment of 100 billion naira over a period of a few months in the purchase of CNG buses. I believe about 75 of them. But we haven't seen that. So has the administration abandoned that? And why the investment, the announcement of 10 billion naira in this, different program? Are they one and the same? Shouldn't we be asking questions about, what was done with the last amounts that was announced and maybe even released?
Well, I think from this new policy that is released, it shows that the government is clearly interested in these CNG buses, because even during the time we were pushing, I had told the world that clearly the best way to go about these petroleum challenges we've been having is for the CNG. And if you look at some of the testimonies we've had, it has greatly reduced the cost of transportation for those people who have been using it. So yes, the CNG buses that the government is trying to provide is going to go a long way to solve the problem. But my challenge here is this. When the president first came in, he went through the governors to provide food for Nigerians, I think twice. This thing didn't cascade. They turned into politics. Then he decided to sidestep the governors, and he went through the members of the National Assembly. Apart from a few of them, like my younger brother, the one from Kaduna, Bello Rufai, and a few, one in Edo, and I can't remember all their names, that came and said, yes, we got food to share to our people. The remaining just took whatever came to them and shut up. Nigerians don't know it. So this is where I keep worrying about the presidency. Using this same mode to solve problems is not working. It shows that the governors are not helping to achieve your dream, because they didn't conceive this dream with you. They're not helping the man. So there must be a better way to pilot this program. The CNG buses will generally reduce the cost of transportation highly. And when you do that, what you have been able to do is to reduce the cost of transportation and food. Because what has caused most of this problem, even when they were selling tomatoes for 150, 120 in Lagos, they were selling in Plateau and Taraba for far less, 30,000, 40,000, thereabout. So cost of transportation is a huge challenge, which CNG buses will help to reduce tremendously. But the president might need to look for a better way to produce it, because it is very clear that the moment these monies get to these governors, they will take it to Malams and change the money as they've been doing. Nigerians will not see solutions, and you will come back here in another 1 month, come and say the same thing here. Because the president will release the fund, but the governors, what they've been doing over time is get fund. For instance, their FAC. Just go and check. Anytime they release FAC, suddenly dollar price will go up. So the moment they get this money, it will disappear. So I'm going to advise the president now, talking from my own other perspective, is that he needs to get a team that will work with him and help to achieve this dream. But using the governors, I'm afraid he might not get the result he's looking for.
Well, Mr. Oyalowo, quite instructive words, really, that you've put out. And by the way, for people who have been asking, where's Mr. Oyalowo? I mean, one of the favorite strikers in court of the APC government in the build-up to this election. Well, here he is. People asking, why is he not on the team? Well, perhaps we can ask another time. But I would like to thank you so much, Mr. Oyalowo, for providing the economic and political angle to all of this. Thank you so much for your time on the Morning Brief.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you.
Well, there you have it. Quite a number of issues to wrap your head around, but we hope we've been able to give you some insight. But we'll go on a quick break now. When we return, we'll turn our attention to yet another, we'll call it money spinner for Nigeria, the crude oil sector. An emergency, state of emergency has been declared. What does it mean? Please stay with us.